Hi, it's Dana at the Arts Partnership. Happy lunchtime on Tuesday, the second week of our spring campaign. And I am on just to remind you that it's campaign time at the Arts Partnership. So if you have been watching some of the video content, if you've been watching some of the posts and thinking, yeah, that seems like a good idea, I want to really encourage you this week to give to the Arts Partnership. So you can see in the notes a little bit about what we do if you are feeling like, well, what is the Arts Partnership? Sort of the easiest way to describe it is that we're like the United Way for the Arts. We're an umbrella organization, which is why you so often see that little umbrella with our logo or support local art in it, because we gather the arts sector together and we make space for everybody to be present, supported, advocated for, networked out into the community to receive grants and stipends and funding and opportunities so that more arts organizations, artists, and arts-related businesses can have an even better quality of life in Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, because guess what happens when the arts are well supported in a community? The community is healthy and thriving. And the reason that this matters is because people have always, in the last 10 years probably, people have been able to easily pick where they want to live and then find good work from there. But you know what happened during COVID and with the Great Resignation? People who felt like they needed to live in great big cities were able to say, boy, maybe I don't have to live in a great big city. Maybe I can have an incredible quality of life in a smaller city, in a smaller community, and still have access to all of the big city things that I want, still have access to online jobs, remote work, all those kinds of things. So this community, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, is more and more becoming a place that people want to live, work, and play. But that requires good art and culture support. So I want to show you a quick video. First, I'm going to stick this up. Hi, Nicholas. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Thanks for watching. I want to show you a quick video that we made last year that I think still supports what we're talking about. So I'm going to put that on. Stay with me. So that's a rough version. I could not figure out on StreamYard how to put the actual one that we ended up using onto it, because it's, who cares why? I just couldn't. But the actual link for the finished copy is in the notes. So if we're like the United Way for the Arts, then the reason that we have a campaign is because it takes people and resources to communicate about the arts, to advocate for the arts, to create the networking opportunities, to get art hung into businesses and other organizations throughout town through artworks, to sell the shares for community supported art, to make sure that 100 or so people are getting in front of artists and taking their work home, enjoying their work, eating their art, drinking their art, all those kinds of things. It takes people to raise the money, to create the opportunities, events, and support that goes out to the arts sector. And that's really what the Arts Partnership does. We don't do a lot of programming. You know why? because there is incredible arts programming being done in the community. You just saw a whole series of photos of art being done from east to west, north to south in Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo. We are here to get the word out about that, to amplify it, to make it spread to a larger audience. And you know why that matters? Because if you want to attract and retain the best employees, you need stuff for them to do when they're not at work. You need stuff for their families to do. You need opportunities for them to engage in the community. And that's what arts and culture can do. And it's what they absolutely do in our community. So, how do I want to say this? Last night, I was at a beautiful fundraising event for a health and human services organization in town, and they told two really extraordinary stories of women and their children getting out of incredibly high-risk situations. And I was moved like every other person in the room, and I gave a big donation, and I hope everybody else gave a big donation too, because that work is immensely valuable. I can't tell you a story like that about the arts. I just can't. We don't do that kind of work, which is why sometimes people say, well, when everything else is taken care of, then we'll support the arts. And if it were a case of, do you want to get women and children out of life-threatening environments? Do you want to make sure that nobody is sleeping on the streets? Do you want to make sure that nobody's going to bed hungry? Or do you want to support the arts? Then I know immediately where my support would go. It would go to those issues, not the arts. If it was an either or situation. But we don't live in that kind of community. We live in an abundant, joyful, supportive community that can say, yes, I want to get women and children out of life-threatening situations. Yes, I don't want anybody sleeping on the streets. Yes, I want to make sure that everybody goes to bed with a full tummy. And I want to make sure that the arts and culture are supported in our community. Because if I'm a business owner, I know that I'm going to have an easier time attracting and retaining employees. If I'm a community member, I know that I'm going to meet interesting people at these events. I know that it's going to give my family and me a multitude of things to do. I know that it is going to ensure that my children and my spouse and I have fabulous ways to engage our minds, our bodies, our creativity, our dreams, our hopes, our fears, all those things through creative pursuits, either as makers or participants or as audience members. If I am somebody who is new to the community, I know that I want strong art and culture because that's how I'm going to start to feel like I have roots here too. If I am somebody who is marginalized, I want to make sure that there's strong arts and culture in my community, because I know that that's where I can go to belong. So it's not a yes or, an either or. It's a yes and. It's a health and human services and the arts, because actually they all are necessary to make a positive, successful, healthy, well-rounded, welcoming, intentional, rich community. So we live in a place that got incredible support, both federally, statewide, and from individuals throughout COVID. The arts were beautifully supported. And I cannot thank you enough. The Arts Partnership was supported and the sector was supported. Director after director after director that I spoke to about the state of their arts organizations throughout COVID said this: things are good. The community showed up. The federal government showed up. The North Dakota Council on the Arts, Minnesota Citizens for the Arts, Minnesota, I can't remember Minnesota's equivalent, but all these organizations showed up and supported the arts through COVID, which is amazing because that was a great fear of ours going into an unknown period of no ability to gather and no ability to produce theater, dance, opera, symphonies, all the kinds of things, gallery openings where people come and support the arts. So you showed up then, you showed up for the Arts Partnership, and I can't thank you enough. But guess what? We're not totally out of the fear of all of this yet. We're still trying to navigate coming back together. How closely can we sit? How packed in can we be? And now we're fighting a different challenge. It's called Netflix in your sweatpants. And if you're experiencing it and I'm experiencing it, that is a scary time for the arts. How many events in the somewhat recent past have you thought about going to? You're clearing away the dinner table and you think, okay, it's time to go to whatever arts event it is. But I kind of just want to put on my sweatpants and stay home. Let me promise you, I have felt that way too. I have missed some things because the pull of sweatpants, the comfort of sweatpants, the opportunity to just be home and do nothing has been more appealing to me than taking the sweatpants off, putting on some sort of professional clothes, and going back out into the community. So I'm not here to criticize you if that's where you're at. I'm here to say, we need you as a sector to come back. We need you to come back to season tickets, to individual tickets, to gallery and art openings, to studio visits. And we need you to come back and support us the way you did so exquisitely during COVID. So it's the second week of the Arts Partnership campaign. We do 2 campaigns a year, one in the fall, one in the spring. I am asking you, if the arts matter to you, if you want to ensure that in Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, the arts are healthy, thriving, active, engaged, and here, please consider a donation to the Arts Partnership this week. I mean, I'll take your money anytime, and I will be joyfully happy to take it anytime. But the campaign ends on Friday. So I would love to see a donation come in from you this week. $5, $10, $25, $50, $50,000, whatever you want to give, it all matters. It all adds up. And then after you've done that, go back and think about 2018, 2019, the first couple months of 2020. What were the arts activities that you just never would have missed? And figure out how you can go back and re-support those, re-engage with the arts sector again. We're here. We made it. We made it miraculously through COVID, in large part thanks to you. So we're here. We're performing, producing, hosting. Come back. Come back and be present with the community. Lana's just put something up. Let's look at it. We seek art out in our darkest hours. For women lifting out of abuse, part of their therapy is sometimes journaling or music. Art saved me from deep depression during my mom's Alzheimer's diagnosis. Art makes us feel better, act better, understand better. Art's a healer, cheerleader, motivator, and a universal way to express the human condition. Bravo, Lana. I couldn't agree more. So the Arts Partnership is here. It's the second week of our 2-week campaign. I would love your support. We need your support. I'm not going to pretend that we don't. We need your support. We needed you during COVID and you showed up. We need you now. The arts need you now. Make your donation to us. We'll be grateful. You'll hear from us, and then go re-engage in the arts. We've been here. We're going to continue to be here, but we need your help to make sure that happens. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Give where you can, when you can. Every single dollar matters and allows us to even better support local art in Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.